Hi everybody, I'm here at Poinsett State Park. I'm going to do a day hike on the Palmetto Trail. I'm going to do the Wateree Passage this morning. Check out the trail map before I go. Poinsett State Park, trailhead, if I can find it right here. Goes north a little ways over Campbell Creek. There's another trailhead up here called Foxville Road, and takes a straight path over all these bridges. They're probably old railroad trestles, and right now the trail officially ends here at the Wateree River, so I'll hike down there and turn around and come back. Well, I found a trail marker. Palmetto Trail goes that way. Well, I've been hiking along this little road, sorts, and I don't know, about 20 minutes comes to a signpost. It says Campbell Pond and Palmetto. I'm thinking that that's the way I go. Nice little trail. Yum. Reckon a deer left those prints. Well, I reckon this is a fish camp of sorts. The fish camp, the trail seems to leave the road. Those of you following along at home, you can dial that phone number and type in 802 and hear a little story. Little hill. I appear to be walking on the edge of a bluff here that drops off maybe 80 to 100 feet. And I guess the history is that these hills were the sand dunes from an ancient shoreline. Up on top of the bluff still, and these trees weren't in the way. You could tell that you can see for miles and miles off to the west. That's kind of cool. Not going to get too close to the edge there. Looks like I get to go down a little bit here. Well, some places the trail's a little wet. Had a lot of rain the past couple days. Looks like it goes to the left on a old logging road of some sort right there. I don't think this is an old logging road. I think this is the old train track by the evidence of the gravel here. Rails to trails, headed to the Wateree River. Trestle 1, chain of lakes. Well, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning. I've been hiking about an hour and a half. It's time for a snack. I've gone from Poinsett State Park to this first trestle. Looks like I've got another 4.5 to go to get out here to the place where it says underwater when river floods. Well, just got to stop and see what the sign says, and got the map again, and this one's got a profile here at Poinsett State Park. It was mile 0. Here's where I went up that bluff, came back down, and looks like we're going to have a real gradual climb up to the edge of the Wateree River, mile 7.3. It's a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. Other interesting things here on this sign: venomous snakes and poison ivy. There's some of the old railroad ties. It must have been miserable for the people that made this railroad track through this swamp. Number 3, cottonmouth. I don't know how you say that. Pretty. Seem to have come to a little obstacle. Hello, Mr. Turtle. If I can give you an idea how big he is. I would eat that. I reckon there's a cottonwood tree around here. I think that's it. There's a whole bunch of cottonwood flowers down in that little creek. Halfway Creek. There's another one. Oh, what is that on its back? Mosquitoes all around this thing. Wonder what kind of animals big enough to leave that pile of poop. Small enough to sit up on this hand railing. Very interesting. Kind of a funny name, Kohler's Old River. Wonder where the new river is. Doesn't really look like an old river. Went off Trestle 8 here. I think I got about a mile to go before I get to the Wateree River. pretty cool how the vegetation is so different down here than it was up on the bluff. There's a bunch of these palmettos right around here. So we got a construction project going on here. I wonder what that's going to mean for me. Well, this is discouraging. It appears that the bridge stops here. Wait, what's that? It's a footbridge. Just got to figure out how to get down there. Wee doggies! Well, don't know about this. Maybe I can jump across that little bit right there. Really muddy down there. Got the poison ivy here. Wonder if we got the poisonous snakes too. Well, I made it down the embankment. Now I can see if I can peck my way through here. Can find the dry spots. Lots of poison ivy. Since I'm down here, I might as well take a picture of the engineering. It's a whole bunch of steel. It's actually pretty cool construction. These columns are made out of rolled sheet metal that's been welded. That's pretty cool. Well, I reckon I could get lost down here. I think if I just sort of stay close to that trestle, I'll eventually come to the river. Looks like it might be the destination. Wateree River. Big old trestle here. And some steps. Well, I made it to the Wateree River. It took me about 3 hours to get down here from Poinsett State Park. Last little bit was kind of scary, walking through the swamp down on the flood zone. Still okay. Kind of cool. Made in different sections with different designs. That one was round-ended and this one's flat. Well, they got some fence posts up right here, so I would say this is probably the end of my hike. Ain't exactly the end, I gotta walk back. Lunch is Texas caviar, pita bread, and a bottle of coffee. Something rooting around here in the dirt. They got wild hogs in this part of the country. Don't want to run into one of them. It's a long way back. that's not good. Keep on going, Mr. Snake. It's just hiding underneath the... It's just hiding underneath the shade there. And I reckon he doesn't want to mess with me any more than I want to mess with him. Well, I've come out of the swamp and have to leave the railroad track and head on back up the bluff. Good thing I'm wearing neon. Well, back to the state park parking lot. Pretty nice trip. Started the trail about 8:30 this morning, and it's just about 5 to 3 right now. It's about 6.5 hours for 15 miles. Really slogging it on the way back though. Kind of out of breath. But this is the end of the tour. I'll find my car parked in the Poinsett State Park day area. Beautiful day. I'm so glad I came. Yum, 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 yum.